Hi guys, you're seeing a side of me that not a lot of people get to see these days. I've got my spectacles on. My spectacles. Um, my eyes were getting a bit tired with the contacts in. I sat down to watch something tonight that I've not watched for a long time, and I forgot how good it was. So, yep, let's get chatting about it. First of all, we talk about this conversation, this competition that Kev and I are having with how many likes we can get on our videos. That competition's not really happening, so don't bother to like my videos more than his. Okay, don't bother because it doesn't really matter. All right. The film that I watched, in fact the credits are still playing in the background now as I'm talking about it, was V for Vendetta. Now, V for Vendetta is one of those, I think, hidden gems that's maybe been a bit lost in time. Now, it only came out 13 years ago. It was 2005. But I think a lot of people haven't seen it. I think a lot of people didn't see it at the time that it came out, but it just feels so much more relevant now. I remember when it was out in the cinema, I worked for Sky TV at the time, and a guy I worked with went to see it. Excuse me. And I said, "How was V for Vendetta?" He said, "Oh, it was shite." I said, "Well, what was so bad about it?" And it was a British film. I don't like British films. Okay, this guy also had a seriously creepy boot fetish and shoe fetish. That's a story for another time. But if you're watching, how you doing, man? Yeah, 2005. It's a sci-fi action film, I suppose you could call it. It was written by the Wachowski brothers at the time. I think they're now the Wachowski sisters because it's fashionable, I suppose. Obviously, they wrote and directed the Matrix films as well. A few connections to the Matrix there. The guy that directed V for Vendetta was an assistant director on at least one of the Matrix films. Obviously you've got the Wachowskis. Some of the special effects in there were quite Matrixy, for want of a better expression. Not special. If I didn't even feel like special effects, it was more visual effects and stuff. But no, it was cool. The film itself is actually based on a graphic novel from 1989. So as far back as that, so it's nearly 30 years ago. This graphic novel came out. It was written by Alan Moore, who also wrote the From Hell graphic novel. From Hell, that was also made into a film back in, I think, 2003, something like that. Maybe 2004, with Johnny Depp, and it was about Jack the Ripper. I thought that was quite crap, to be honest. I found it really pretty boring. There's some cool visuals and stuff like that, but it was pretty boring. This, though, V for Vendetta, is fantastic. You've got Hugo Weaving he plays V, who's your main. I don't even know if he's a hero, anti-hero. It's kind of treading the line a little bit there. Natalie Portman, I can't normally really be bothered with. I don't think she's dreadful. I just think she gets more credit than she not deserves. But I think there's much better actresses. Much better actresses out there. But in this in particular, she's really good. There's one particular scene where her character Evie has been through some stuff, and she has this kind of confrontation with V, and her acting chops really come out in that scene. It's really, really good. Really well acted on both sides. Hugo Weaving. I can't speak to that for some. Hugo Weaving, who played Agent Smith in the Matrix films, and some pointy-eared fucker in Lord of the Rings or something. He's V. He's your. It takes the image of Guy Fawkes in this film. You know the anonymous mask? That's where it came from. Was this film? He's great. It's amazing how much he can emote from behind a mask. Just takes a slight tilt of the head when he's talking or whatever, and it's really, really, really well put together. His acting was really, it was fantastic. It was, at the time, it did okay at the box office. I think it made something like $130 million. Bearing in mind this was 13 years ago, so in today's money that's probably about 87 billion because the economy's fucked. It was made for about 50, so performed relatively well, but I don't really know a lot of people that have seen it. Like, you talk to people, it's like, have you seen V for Vendetta? Nah. But you really, really should see it. Now, let me just refer to my notes for a second here. I've been taking notes in this one. I'm getting all professional with this stuff. Not professional enough to fucking memorise them, but I'm getting a little bit more professional. Yeah, a lot of kind of really interesting takes on censorship and what it'd be like to live in a police state, which at the time in 2005 when it came out, not a lot of that going on in this country certainly, but it's getting really, really bad. Like, there's zero freedom of speech here anymore. There's never been a law for it. There's never been anything protecting our freedom of speech. It was just a given. But it's getting to the point now where you can't say anything without offending somebody, and now offending somebody is actually an offence, which is fucking horrific. But it's censorship, the suppression of pop culture, art, music. There's a lot of that going on, and obviously Guy Fawkes. You know what Guy Fawkes is about. This is it's like a twist on what he was trying to do, and I can't say enough good about it. I don't want to give too much away about it. For those of you who haven't seen it, for those of you that have, then go watch it again because it's really, really good. By the way, Kevin has no input on how his house is decorated. Just saying. That was really dicky. A few really memorable scenes. One, I spoke about one already. That was Natalie Portman's acting when she was having a wee confrontation with V. Another bit was is a sequence quite early on in the film. It's not really a spoiler as such, so I'll give it away. Obviously most of you know what Guy Fawkes was trying to do, but there's a sequence where he blows up the Old Bailey, which is obviously the big courthouse in London. He blows up the Old Bailey, and as it's blown up, he conducts the explosion like an orchestra, and it's got the 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky playing. You don't know what that is off the top of your head, but when I kind of sound it out, you'll know it's and just watching the building blown up to that song is it's really it's cool to watch. You should really give it a bash. I don't want to say too much more about it. It's one of these films that I think seems to be getting more relevant as time goes on, and I think more people should make the effort and see it. It's on Sky at the minute. I know a lot of people have Sky. If you don't have Sky, you'll probably get it on Showbox or Cody or something. So, V for Vendetta, 2005, directed by James McTeague, who also was like I said, assistant director on one of the Matrix films, I think. He hasn't really done much else worth talking about as far as I can remember. But he did a great job with this. Everybody that was in it did a great job. Also has the great Stephen Fry, he's just infinitely watchable. So, yeah, get out there, get it bought on DVD for $3.99, watch it on Sky or stream it, whatever you want to do. Make sure you see this film, and just remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason plot. I know of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Enjoy. Cheery bye. Tried to do a dramatic end there, and fucking phone just didn't pick up my thumb. 1, 2, 3.